Oh, good morning, y'all. So, currently I'm the only one up, which is, it's nice when that happens. It happens rarely these days. I got the coffee going. I took my ibuprofen. Supposed to, I had put on my schedule for me to do some training with the girls today. You know, some rolls, some tumbles, body manipulation. Why my back feels, I don't know if I'm actually going to do that, especially not on the cold, hard ground. I should really get some mats. No, in all seriousness, I should look into getting some mats. Hopefully Jessie feels better today. She felt a little under the weather yesterday. And, I'm hoping that today she'll feel better. And that coffee needs to hurry up. Yay. Coffee. Well, Thanksgiving was eventful and in a good way. I don't mean that negatively. I know I sound sarcastic when I say shit like that, but no, it was good. Jessie was real proud of her Thanksgiving dinner, and the turkey was good. Bella told her it was dry, which that kid definitely has never had dry turkey, because that turkey was not dry. And I have to do something about her manners, because what the fuck, kid? Like, seriously. But anywho, well, I'm gonna chill here with my coffee. The streets of Gotham. Yeah. Everybody's awake now. Trying to make up his mind whether or not he wants to be awake. The struggle to get comfy.
Yeah, exactly. Those babies in the crib where they're constantly moving and rolling around. Oh, good.
We took off the big stuff and put it on the bottom, so that way there was more room in the middle and stuff. So.
Save me.
There are no boys' names that start with an A and end with an N.
Aaron, Aiden, Alan, Aaron. I don't know if I'm late. I don't know if if the bride has already been unmasked. I have no idea. Here's what I know. I've not been watching The Masked Singer for quite a while, for reasons. However, I know that voice. There's absolutely no way there is anybody underneath that mask other than Chris Jericho. There's just no way. That's gotta be him. Like, I've never been more sure of anything, ever.
ADHD is fucking depressing. It is a mix of everything. You will fit in everywhere but nowhere. You are extremely arrogant, but you are very much aware of your own faults. Capable of anything, yet not motivated to do a thing. Witty and charismatic, but have a low tolerance for bullshit people. Great with advice, but follow none of it. You are most likely a genius, but have trouble handling your own emotions. You are an extrovert who needs a lot of personal space. You love being different, but you hate being misunderstood. Have brilliant ideas, but lack the patience to follow through with them. You have more interests than anyone you know, but will get bored with every one of them. Easily understand the thoughts of others, but find it hard to translate your own. Surprisingly compassionate, yet seemingly very cold. We make it look fun.
This is some bullshit. Allow me to elaborate. First off, I'll preface this by saying I am a millennial. I am the head of a household, a family of 5. Okay? I have been working full-time since I was 18 years old. Worked part-time before that. Did not grow up with a lot. Definitely, lower class. All right. Now at 34 years old, I have a good job. I have a wonderful family. I own a home. I own a rental property. The only thing that stops people from actually being able to achieve things is their own bullshit attitude. Okay? I'm very much disgusted with my generation and the Gen Zers that came after us who want to blame everything on the generation that came before. The generation that came before hasn't done anything to you except give you life. They in many cases, they're the ones who actually brought you into this world. In other cases, they're the ones that built the things that you are taking for granted. Grow the fuck up. Reach down, grab your bootstraps, and lift yourself up. If you don't have boots, maybe you should go get a pair of work boots. That could be part of your problem. That you don't own a pair of work boots, and therefore, you don't get shit done. It's easy to blame others because then you don't have to assess yourself or change. The best place to find your problem is in the mirror, because if the problem's you can fix it.
Where are you? I'm over here.
So, my day has been eventful and not in the way that I was expecting. I ended up having to run out to grab a cabinet that was not my idea to get, and then cut a bunch of shelves for it. Even though I said I wasn't going to cut the shelves because I was irritated about running out to get them, but who am I kidding? I do all kinds of things that I don't want to do and that I say that I won't do. How to make certain people happy. So, nothing that looks pretty good. We gotta get some stuff so that the shelves can go in it, but I'll be here till Tuesday, so I guess that's it for today on that front. Hello there, my boy.
See his shirt?
What was that?
See his shirt?
I can't read it. Ah, he's a cool dude. He's not being really cool right now. He's being kind of whiny.
You'd be whiny too.
What?
You'd be whiny too.
I'm always whiny. I don't know what you're talking about. I got plenty to whine about.
I wouldn't say you're whiny.
Yeah.
You piss him off more.
Oh boy. Come here, you. So the kickoff show has started. These idiots, they want to watch the show. They want to be involved in the card. They want to do all this stuff. But actually getting them to sit still and watch anything, well, I've herded cats and had an easier time of it. This little fella, he's playing with his thing. We're crossing vlog streams.
Yep.
Oh, it's a meta moment. Let's see back.
You guys send me this video so I can do something funny with it.
Ooh. Later. All right, so the actual show is about to start. Little woman's got Mr. Man upstairs for his bath. We're going to start with the women's War Games match. They might be lower in that cage.
Is that why there's an alarm going off?
You ready to turn that off and get to watching? No. I mean, it's your bedtime. You can go to bed. Turn it off. Come on, let's watch the show.
Wait, what just happened here?
All right, so last night was Survivor Series, and it was quite a show. I have noticed here these last couple of pay-per-views that Triple H is definitely taking a less is more approach. Like, it's a damn near 4 hour show, and you know or it's at least over a 3 hour show, and 5 matches. So a couple of two of the matches, which did definitely take more than an hour to get through. So he's doing less matches, and he's giving the people who have the matches plenty of time. Like, there were no really short matches. I'm not complaining, it's just an observation. They opened up the show with the women's War Games match, and so the way WWE has done War Games with those Shark Tanks and new people add as time goes on, that's not the way I remember WCW doing it back in the day. However, it does create an interesting dynamic, and I don't hate it. So, that being said, we did see Alexa Bliss and Asuka, Bianca, and Mia Yim, along with Becky Lynch, come out victorious. There was this match. This was the opener, and I will say the women set the bar for the men's War Games match to try and meet. Now, it set the bar for athleticism and stunts rather high. Spoiler alert, they set it high enough to where I don't really think the men's match met it on that front. It superseded it and surpassed it on other fronts, namely psychology and storytelling. However, this was the women's War Games match was probably as far as physicality goes, the most entertaining match on the card. So after that, we go into AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, which I like AJ Styles quite a bit, and I got nothing against Finn Balor. But for whatever reason, I just was not feeling this match the way you would think that I would. I'm not ignorant. I'm not ignorant to their background. I'm aware of their stories and how their paths have crossed and all that jazz. I just don't. I just kind of didn't care. And that's my personal thing. But AJ did come up victorious there, and it wasn't a match where I felt like I had to keep my eyes on it the whole time, otherwise I'd miss something. It was good. But it was just good. After that, I believe it was after that, we got a little backstage segment. Jey Uso going to tell Roman what happened with Sammy and Kevin on the night before on SmackDown. And it was they just got Paul Heyman sitting in the back, and they're just sitting there back there quietly holding the belt. So that being said, it would appear that Jey has kind of had it out for Sammy straight along. But Roman listens to Jey and says, basically tells him, like, I'll look into it. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Very Godfather-esque, which is probably what they're going for at that point. We then went into the SmackDown Women's Championship match. God, my hair's a mess. Went into SmackDown Women's Championship match, which was Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi. I guess they just call her Shotzi now. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure this was the shortest match on the card. apparently Shotzi's very, very popular with people. I don't really care. The highlight of this is the fact that they're actually having Ronda behave like a heel. I've been saying since day one that Ronda Rousey should be a heel. Ronda Rousey should always be a heel, just like Brock Lesnar should always be a heel. Now, I'm not talking about be a chicken shit heel, be a badass heel, be the heel that is the heel because nobody can beat you and everybody hates you for it. That's the heel that Ronda should be, just like that's the heel that Brock should be. They should be in a position where they never actually become a babyface. You just have the pockets of people that love them because they're so badass. So yeah, Ronda, of course, pulled out the win here, as she should. So they got her going around with Shayna Baszler, hanging out with her, which it's good. Use real life. Those two are actually friends. They actually train together in MMA. Use real life as much as possible. So yeah, I was happy with that. Ronda needs a better caliber opponent. But that's kind of hard to do right now because, I mean, you think about it, who are they going to have? People like Becky and were busy in other matches. I'm not even sure where Charlotte is. She wasn't on this show, so I don't know what's going on with Charlotte, or Sasha Banks for that matter. So it's just right now there does not feel like, at least to me, that there is any type of credible threat in the women's division to Ronda. So they're going to have to do some work in order to make somebody seem credible, is what they're going to have to do. So after the SmackDown Women's Championship match, we saw Roman bring Sami in and talk to Sami. Now, I actually, now bear in mind that personally I can't stand Sami Zayn, and I've never really been a big fan of Roman Reigns. I don't like these people. However, they're doing a good job. Roman, this story's well written. I'd love to know who's writing it, because they deserve some credit. So Roman brings in Sami, and the whole thing here was Sami apparently had a conversation with Kevin Owens on SmackDown and then lied to Jey Uso about it when he was asked. However, when Roman asked Sami about it, Sami told him the truth. As I was saying, the story they're telling with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline, it's very good. Roman asking Sami point blank whether or not he had been talking to Kevin Owens, or whether or not he talked to Kevin Owens the day before. And, Sami, again, it's all speaking in characters. Ignore the fact that they're real people for a moment. Sami's character, he told the truth. His delivery, his performance was believable and very sincere, and they were really setting the stage, if you will, for the drama that would proceed in the match itself when it would start, because that is where the men's match definitely surpassed the women's match, was in cohesive storytelling. And there's just so much more meat on the bone to tell a story for those characters. than there were for the women's characters. It just, just by the nature, the breadth, the width, and the depth of the story that has been told up to this point, they just had more to work with. But after that, they got the triple threat match for the United States Championship between Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, and Austin Theory. This match, it's funny, it's the only match where I didn't accurately guess the winner. So, I really did think that Bobby Lashley was going to get the United States Championship back. He did not. Austin Theory became the United States Champion. And I'll be honest, I'm not mad at it. The crowd in Boston was. The crowd in Boston was actually quite mad at it. There were quite audible boos. However, I ain't mad at it. I don't mind this at all. I think Theory moving into a program with Rollins is good. I think those two will, definitely put on good matches. I'd like to see Lashley. Normally, this is the part where I say I'd like to see Lashley move up and compete for a world championship. However, with what they're doing with the Bloodline, I don't know. They may want to keep Lashley away from Roman because I'm very, very much. We're just still stuck in this rut, and maybe I'm wrong, but I really do think they're gonna be building for Rock and Roman to WrestleMania, Royal Rumble in Texas in January. I fully expect to see some type of shenanigans that set up for that. But that being said, and I don't know how many more times they want to do Lashley versus Lesnar. I'm just not sure. I don't know how many more times they want to do it. This last time they did Lashley versus Lesnar at Crown Jewel, Lesnar was dominant and only lost the match because, of Lesnar having quote unquote more experience and a better thinking on the fly ability. Adaptability is the word I was looking for. So, I could definitely see them doing another match between the two. As much as I enjoyed War Games, in the future, I'd much rather see a return at Survivor Series to the 5-on-5 elimination style tag match instead of War Games. I think War Games could benefit from getting its own pay-per-view similar to Elimination Chamber and Hell in a Cell did. But, who knows what they'll do moving forward. But, so yeah, Austin Theory, your new United States champion. So in the final match of the night was the Bloodline versus Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and the Brawling Brutes. So that match was just the storytelling throughout it was so good. So they had Pete Dunne, they had Butch start the match, and Bloodline had Jey Uso start the match. So Jey Uso's in there by himself against Butch. That's not too bad. And then comes Rich Holland. Jay's in a 2-on-1 scenario. He really starts getting, the business. And when it's time for the Bloodline to send somebody else, Jimmy, he's ready to go, man. Like he makes it out the cage. Roman reaches out and grabs his shirt. Roman's like, nah, you stay here. You go. Send Sammy. And of course, Sammy and Jay's had a big problem with Sammy. And, so Sammy, he's tentative, but he goes. And he saves Jay's ass a couple of times. And, him and Jay are forced to work together a little bit, which, doesn't always work, because Jay's a little hot-headed. But just the whole story of, it's funny, the whole story of the match seemed to happen within the bloodline, with the exception of Kevin Owens on the other side of the other side of the match. And the whole thing ends with Sammy proving without a shadow of the doubt his loyalty by turning. He stops KO from being able to get the pin on Roman. He low blows KO. He haluva kicks KO, and he serves KO up to Jey Uso for the Uso splash and the pin. And afterwards, Roman embraces him and Jey embraces him. And so now there's no more questioning the loyalty of Sami Zayn. I must say, for a wrestling show, the performances were wonderful. It was very, very believable. And, speaking from, my own experience being part of a family and a community where loyalty it's a big deal, and we haven't always been the most upstanding of citizens. Sometimes you get dirty to get things done. All of that being said, loyalty is a huge deal, and they made it one in this story, and it was quite good. I was so pleasantly surprised by this. So yeah, I definitely give this show a very solid 4 out of 5. They don't get much better than this. The really only the only thing I can say is I do hope that we see a return next year of the 5-on-5 elimination tag matches, and maybe we give War Games its own show. But that would be it.